Okay, so I'm going to do a trade here that we don't have a box signal yet. I mean, we don't have an arrow, but I'm going to put an order up here to go long.
Order
And
pending.
I'm doing this because
Order filled.
I have other things that I use to get into the market, and they're giving me a buy signal. So this is a really perfect example to show you a box trade because we have one that looks like it's forming for a long position. This could come down and then we get a red arrow, but we've got this massive gap that we filled today from an overnight drop down, and I've got other things that I use to that's telling me to go long. So I'm in right now. But so twofold, I want to show you one how you can use this with other things that you use. You don't necessarily, if you have something that you use that you like using, the box is not here to say stop using that. It's here to really complement your, really the end result that we're all after is to make money. And this is a really good way to do it. So hopefully in the next, I don't know, minute or so, we're going to get a signal to go long. So what will happen is we'll get one of these arrows, and then the bar, or in this case candlestick, will also turn blue. So that gives us an indication that the direction is up. So there's another reason why I got into this trade here as opposed to waiting for a signal, in addition to the fact that I'm using something else. When we get a signal, sometimes it can happen a little bit higher. So what has to happen is price has to close above the box in order to get a long signal. And then conversely, if the market's going to give an indication to drop, then we'll have a red arrow and simultaneously a red, the candle will turn kind of a darker red. Well, actually, it's the red is actually lighter. My normal candle color is darker, but anyways, it's different than the normal candle color. So hopefully this won't take too long and we'll get a signal. So we're kind of ticking above it. So again, what needs to happen is we need to close above the box. So for those of you that are new to the box, or maybe you're thinking about using the box, there's a members section that goes through quite a few videos. So we had that, there was that signal there. So we have a members
Target
section.
filled.
Okay, this is happening faster than I anticipated. Anyways, so this first target, and I'll come back to what I'm saying, was at the blue line. So these dotted lines, these are profit levels, okay? And so what these do is they give us an indication of where the market is most likely to pause or act as, in this case, resistance or support. It doesn't mean that it can't break through these. In fact, in this case, I hope it does, because what I did is I entered in with 3 contracts. I took 1 out on the first level. I have 2 more sitting in at that green level. And then my stop is down about a tick or so below the box. It's actually exactly a tick. It's a tick below the box. Now I can move this. I can move it up. I can secure more. I can secure profit. I can make it so that I don't have as big of a loss if in fact the market comes back down. But let me go back to what I was saying. In the members section, there's a series of videos, and the raw usage of the box is to wait for an arrow, and I would highly suggest that. So when you're using the box alone, wait for an arrow, because it gives you kind of the safest entry opportunity. In other words, I got into this trade before the arrow appeared, and it was entirely possible that the market could come back down and give us a red arrow signal, and then the market's dropping and I would have lost the trade. But I had other indications that we're still going to try to climb a little bit higher, and so I'm going to place my odds in that favor. So the traditional usage of the box, you wait for an arrow to appear. That tells you the highest probable direction. Obviously, it doesn't happen every single time. As you can see, this one here, this red arrow, this signal we got here to short, it didn't work out. There was too much strength to the upside, so we continue up. But nearly all the other trades that happened today were winners. So that, even though that one was a loser, it was one of many winners that you would have had. So at this point, I'm gonna pause this. I don't know how long this trade's gonna. It's just kind of dead, and so if we get closer to my target here, I'm gonna flip it back on so we don't have to sit here for who knows how long. So as you can see, it hit my profit target twice, didn't fill me. But what I wanted to show you here I'm in Denver, Mountain Time Zone, so it's 12:59 my time. And if I go to charts, you can see down here it's 12:59. So this is not market replay. This is happening right now, live, real time. So you can see these two candles here hit by target, and that's just the reality of trading for those of you that might be new to the market. Just because price goes to your exits, it doesn't mean that you're going to get filled on your profit. So I decided to stay in this because I still have indication it's going to try to climb a little bit higher and break these highs here, which it looks like it's starting to happen. We'll see if it actually does. You know, at this point, I've decided to leave my stop where it's at. I feel like I have plenty of breathing room. What you can do is you can move your stop. You can just click on your stop, grab it up. You can secure a point profit. At this point, you know, I'm up, let's see, about 2 points or so. Kind of fluctuates back and forth. But you know, it's really up to you what you want to do. But the simplicity of the box is this: a box forms. It tells us a high probability trade is forming, and then what happens is an arrow will appear based upon the most probable direction. So in this case, a blue arrow appeared, bar turned blue. It tells us that most likely direction is up, and so that's where we get in. And then it's up to you where to get out. If you want to just take a quick profit at the first level, I have mine extended to the second level. There's obviously more levels depending on the market. I don't typically like to take more than the second level if the market's kind of slow like this, because number one, it's painful to sit through, and number two, a lot of times there's not enough strength to get us there. Although if we look at today, it happened, but it was a very slow, methodically moving day. But that's just me. That's what I like to do. It gives me the overall best profit potential. So I'm going to pause this again and then come back when it starts to pick up a little bit more. Okay, so we're trying to climb back up there. Let's see if we can, oh, there we go, make a final push. So what I need to happen, I really need price to get past my exit in order to get filled. You can get filled on the tick. It happens plenty of times, but what you have to realize is that if you have an order, in this case I only have two.
Target filled.
Okay, and there we go. So if you have an order for X number of contracts, that same number of contracts needs to be on the opposite side, the sell side. So, but just because you have that, and maybe those exist, it also depends upon essentially who got there first. You know, what orders got there first are what's going to get filled. So depending on the lineup, on, you know, how fast your computers are and the order at the exchanges, in this case this is the ES, which is traded at the CME, is how fast it's going to get filled. That's information you really don't need to know. The simplicity of the box is we wait for a box to form, an arrow appears giving us the most probable, in other words likely direction, and then it's just up to us to get in. We get in the market, we set our profit targets where we want them, if you want to use the lines, or if you want to, you know, do something else. But it's really that simple. There's no analyzing the market, you know, it's doing X, Y, Z, you know, there's no confusing indicators to try to figure out what's happening. It's just, that's it. It's simple as that. When I, you know, many years ago when I first developed this indicator, I had my 10-year-old son sit down with me. I taught him how to use it, and within literally 10 to 15 minutes, he got it. It was, you know, he didn't need to know even what he was trading. It's that simple. So down below there's a link. Get half off your first month. It's available for NinjaTrader, Sierra Chart. Multicharts is in beta, but if you use Multicharts, I can give you a copy of it. And then also eSignal Advanced Get, if you use that software, it's also available for that. A little bit different format, but it's still the same indicator, does the same thing.